Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people on whose traditional lands these videos are made, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Absolutely fabulous to have you along today. Today I'm going to use my Light Seers Tarot and my intuitive cards, and what I'm going to have a look at was asked quite a while ago to have a look at the issue of economic inequity. Both, well, globally, but it's very pronounced in the US. Australia's not terribly great with that either, but we do have a more robust fair work system. Still got CEOs getting paid, $5 million a year while they pay their lowest workers, $25 an hour or whatever. But it's even more exacerbated in the US, where you've got billionaires earning millions a day and paying their workers absolute minimum wage, if not less. So I'm not quite sure. I won't get on my hobby horse. This is the second time I've started recording this, because I did get on and have a bit of a rant as one does. I think I did a video on this, if I remember correctly, 18 months, 2 years ago. Oh gosh, back in the early days. So forgive my presentation there. But I'm going to have another look now. I'm going to keep my personal opinion aside and see where this leads us as to where it's going to end. Now, I have two books on my bookshelf just to show you what side of the street I'm on. Utopia for Realists, fabulous read. It is about a universal base income by taxing the very, very rich, and also I love this book, The Rise of the Creative Class, because what's happening in the world today is that because there isn't a financial value to a lot of creativity until it becomes commercial. We don't have a respect for that creativity. We don't acknowledge that creativity. And it's the same with nature, with Mother Earth. A beautiful tree growing does not have a dollar value until it's chopped down and turned into timber. We call it timber. Other parts of the world call it lumber. Turn it into building material. We don't, because you can't put a dollar value on that tree, but the value, the value for the planet and for us as humans, because we often forget that we need a healthy environment. The planet would be quite happy if we weren't here, because we don't put a dollar value on creativity or nature. We tend to disregard it. So it's all really convolutedly entwined, and there needs to be a shift across the whole spectrum. Says me having an argument on social media this morning about there are plans for offshore windmills to go off our coast here, and of course the old fossils going, oh, we've got plenty of coal in Australia. That's my Muppet impression, in case you're getting it. And then they bring up the old, but China. Well, just because China is going through a transition where they're going to use more energy, but they are producing more renewables on a per capita basis than any other country in the world. But just because they're going through this transition does not mean we don't, that we are excused from not going through this transition. Okay, off my hobby horse. Let's have a look. So it's all intertwined, the economic inequality. Now, our government in Australia just announced in regards to changes to superannuation. I really wish they wouldn't fiddle with super, because it's all right for me being an old fart nearing the end, but those young'uns who are putting into super at 25, 30, who won't, it's 401k for those in the US, who won't see the benefits of it for another 40 years or more. The fact that the federal government keeps fiddling with it is it must be really scary for them, because they don't know what the future's going to hold. Anyhow, so the government's fiddling with super again. wanting to tax those with over 3 million in their super account, which in this day and age isn't a huge amount. It's not bad. It's actually pretty darn good, better than most people. But are they going to index it, that 3 million, to increase over the years? What's the nitty gritty behind it? My way of thinking is that, and I'm going to put it out there again, still on my hobby horse, that countries really need to look at taxing. Now I'm going to say money made in a country. So in Australia we have the big mega giants, we have Amazon, we have Facebook, we have, you name it, we have the big mega giants here. And they make a lot of money off Australians, but what happens is they take the profits offshore to tax havens and use them as tax write-offs against money that they internally owe and own, and therefore they end up paying no tax anywhere. My way of thinking is that these companies should be forced to pay tax within the country, so you've got your profit in the country less your costs in the country, and the difference is the tax, and that tax should be charged at a rate low enough that it's not worth their bother, 10% perhaps, that it's not worth their bother to try and rort the system. So to me, that would be a much more equitable way of governments raising money, instead of trying to forever tax the little man who's trying to get ahead. Okay, let's have a look. Don't ask me to run for politics. I would be so frustrated. Okay, a couple of cards flew out, and it was these two. It's about big picture dreaming. Big picture dreaming, and what have we got? The Knight of Wands. The message getting out there, a new plan getting out there. Okay. Thank you, governments. Listen to me. Right, 7 minutes in and I haven't drawn a card. Let's have a look. Okay, I read on the last budget that came out with our local government in Australia, our federal government, and I really thought they were going to introduce some form of this corporate tax, but they didn't. Okay, thank you guys. What the guys are telling me is they looked at it but got scared and backed away. Oh, chickens, cowards. Okay, let me have a look. Well, tell me about the energies of social inequality. Social inequality. I'm not talking about dictatorship, authoritarian countries where there is so much corruption. I'm talking about democratic capitalist countries. Reagan absolutely destroyed with his trickle-down economics, and he removed all the renewable transition schemes that Jimmy Carter put into place. God bless Jimmy Carter. Beautiful, beautiful man. Okay, Ronald Reagan. Okay, let's have a look at the energies. Remove my social biases, but let's have a look at the renewables going forward. Not renewables, social economics going forward. Renewables, a lot of it's tied up in renewables. It's about bringing back onshore basic amenities for the country, not being at the whim of other countries. I'm not talking necessarily about manufacturing, because we're moving away. Manufacturing being brought back onshore, but it's not going to bring jobs. Just be aware of that, because it's a move to automation, but it's all intertwined. Bringing energy back onshore, bringing manufacturing back onshore, taxing profits onshore. It's all very intertwined. Okay, let's have a look. Come on down. Sorry, nearly 10 minutes and I haven't drawn a card. Okay, Page of Wands. It's about the young people. the young people bringing forward new ideas, new creative ways, new energy. Us old farts, we're getting tired of this of this fight. Well, I've been fighting this fight for decades. Still fighting it on social media. I'm sure when I get off here there'll be a dozen more comments that I have to politely and factually reply to. But yeah, it is about the young energy. The young energy coming forward with new ideas and new energy. Okay. Because they are disappointed with what is on offer. There's going to be a period of, really, you could have done this and you chose not to, is what my boys are telling me. But rather than being disillusioned, we oldies, cynical oldies, need to turn them to look at this cup that has absolute magic flowing out of it, so that they can pick up the baton and run with it, because the future is going to be amazing. But they need to not be disillusioned by what has gone before, because we have this, literally it is being presented to them. Okay, sorry youngs. Okay, Two of Swords, we are at an intellectual crossroads, a crossroads of wisdom. We need to take the blindfold off and undo the bindings of the past to move forward. Right. We have to take off the mask, the blindfold and the bindings of this is how it's always been done. I don't care how it's always been done. If it's not working, I don't care. We need to take the blindfold off in regards to this wisdom of doing things differently, of moving forward. There's technology here, there is intellect, there is wisdom, and we need to literally make a choice. Are we going to move forward, or are we going to stay in the past? In the past, the giving and receiving help. Yeah, okay. Oops, that's one. Next one's popped out. Lovely card. This is about the money changing hands. It's about keeping the status quo, but it's in the past. So it is in the past. It's about the money changing hands, the donors, the status quo being kept in place by money changing hands. Ugh, yick. Okay, crowning this reading. The world is your oyster. It is about the, this is the authorities card, but when I read this card in these sorts of readings, it's very much the world is at your doorstep. You have the power. The power is yours. You are the authorities, but need to take up the challenge to do the work that is required to reach it, climbing the stairs. Okay. Immediate future, yeah, I'm not surprised. Nine of Swords, there is anxiety in regards to this. Economic anxiety, planet health anxiety, yeah. So us, as I keep saying it, us oldies, we need to stand up and support the youth coming through that will be making these changes. We need to enable them to latch onto that white dove of hope. But it's going to be pretty shitty in the meantime, excuse my French. It's going to be quite anxiety ridden as those that wanting to move forward are battling with those that want to stay with the status quo. And a lot of despair for the youth. They're feeling despair because they are looking at the immediate. Because, okay, thank you. The image I immediately saw was politics and decision makers full of old white men sitting, grey white men sitting behind a table. There was literally rows of them sitting behind this massive oak table in what you would probably call a quaint English manor library with all the books behind them. This is what they feel that they're up against and who's dictating to them. So we need to empower the youth. We need to stand with them. Okay. Externally, 9 of Cups. This is about wish fulfillment. Don't just wish it, make it happen. But the future can be amazing, even if it's just being a keyboard warrior. Don't get into emotion. Always, if you're arguing back against these, okay, I'll call them idiots, you need to use facts. But this is the external future, and it is incredibly bright. But we need to throw all these cups in the air so that they can fly emotionally. We need to support the good decision makers emotionally going forward, because they will be bringing amazing opportunities with them. Drawn to the chest at the bottom, perhaps we need to also fund them, fund those that are creating this new beginning. Internally, 10 of Cups. So we've got the 9 of Cups and then the 10 of Cups. So this is progressing forward. This is move forward movement. But this is also about the voter. This is my democracy card about the voter. So it really, really comes down to supporting those that are emotionally dreaming big to gain the attention of the voter. Something really interesting is Beau of the Fifth Column brought it to my attention this morning. What are we looking at? Tennessee. I'll read on that in a separate reading. But yeah, internally it's going to be about families and about voters. Circles of support. Yeah, we need to come together and support each other. We need to be a united voice going forward. 3 of Cups, also an emotion card. We have the 4 of Cups here, the disappointment. So all this is wrapped up in the emotion. Emotion, and we need to come together emotionally. We need to dream huge, dream big, and take the voters along with us, because it will start at grassroots level. And here's that Page of Cups again. Dreaming big and working hard. Planting the seeds and nurturing. 7 of Pentacles. We need to plant the seeds and nurture it to grow. Our actions now will lead to consequences. And the 9 of Pentacles. Independence. Wealth, independence for all. I'm really getting that this is enough money for all going forward. 5 of Cups. Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but this is about financial independence for all. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be disappointments along the way, but we need to focus on that full cup in the background. And the Queen of Wands. Inspirational, confident, feminine energy, leadership going forward. A orator with a great message and a great plan, and that needs to be supported as we have this call to arms moment and this spiritual awakening. Okay, so that's the energies I'm getting around it. I'm really feeling that it's all intertwined. We can't just focus on economic inequity without focusing on the rest of it as well. Small steps though, but it is what those cards are showing me is it's very much about we need to, us oldies, plant a tree. Plant a tree, you won't see it grow to fruition, but we need to support those coming through. And I'm really dig deep, even if it's, as I said, keyboard warrior, if you can't donate, is it volunteering time to work in an electoral office, whatever it is that you're doing, it's going down to your community garden and making groups of friends there, like-minded friends, in supporting and bringing forward these energies. It's about lifting the energy vibration on all levels, donating, throwing a couple of extra tins of food into your shopping basket to put in the local food bank pantry or something. I've got a bag of passion fruits I'm going to be giving away to a friend today. Oh God, I've given away so many passion fruits this year. The vine has been so prolific. But yeah, growing something in your garden and sharing it in your community. It's very much about starting at community roots level and building it up and building circles of support and supporting unions and shopping at the stores that do support fair pay. Okay, not entering in the what is it for me mentality. Sadly, the world's gone transferred from a what can I do for my community to what's in it for me, which is really sad. Yeah, giving help. The cards that have popped out is giving help, an awakening, an aha moment about the quality of leadership that we want. These cards are available if you want them. Different backing at Etsy. Just go to Etsy and put in the search Meister Tarot and you'll find them. Do a print run every Wednesday. But back on topic. I'm not here to sell cards. I'm here to help lift the global vibration and the spirituality and the sense of community. So show me economic inequity going forward. What do we need to do? What do we need to know? What will be happening? Economic inequity. Right. Wanted that card. Okay, thank you. Sorry. The boys, when you are in tune with your guides, they tell you what card, if they throw a card out, if they throw out a couple of cards, look at them and they will go, that one, at you, and put the rest back, and then they will tell you when to stop shuffling. But show me the path forward. There's 89 cards in this deck, so it's a lot of cards to get in the right order. Okay, the card that they wanted kept out was the noise. It's about making noise. What do we have to do? And there is an increased noise in regards to this. Oh man, I feel suddenly incredibly dizzy. It's not necessarily about protesting, but it is about voicing support. Thank you. Voicing support online, voicing support with your dollar. It's about bringing ideas to your local members. Speaking of which, I must write to my local members. Okay, making noise. Okay, foreign alien. Growth. Right, usually I have to put out a whole line before I see where it goes. Growth. Difficult message. Okay, thank you. There are going to be countries, foreign countries that are going to take this path. And we have to listen. It's going to be a difficult message. This is my jester hat. The court fool that would bring forward the difficult messages for the kings. Only one who could do it without being beheaded. Yeah, see where it goes. I'm not sure about this foreign. See where this goes. getting such a tingling all over my face as I'm drawing these cards. Okay. As the noise of what goes on overseas grows, we are going to hear this difficult message of this dark energy, these dark clouds. Now, this is all about, thank you guys, they're telling me poisoned water, death through pollution. It's just awful overseas energy that we're going to hear. Now, it's not necessarily overseas. It may even just be foreign to us that there is this concept. And I'm being drawn to Ohio with the soil and the water there. Please, if you are there, get it independently tested. If someone has got a GoFundMe page that you can support for testing, then please do. I'm really getting a draw of don't believe what you're told by the authorities in a lot of instances. Also, what's drawing me is Australia has been playing India in the cricket, and the footage from that, I had to call my husband over when I caught it, and because I couldn't believe it, my partner. The fog was so bad on the cricket ground, the smog, the pollution, that it was like they were playing in a fog. It wasn't a fog, it wasn't a mist, it was pollution. Now, in Australia, we get people coming here and going, oh my God, your air is so fresh in cities like Sydney and Melbourne, and us who don't live in Sydney and Melbourne go down there and go, oh my God, this smells so bad, because to us who are living in even less polluted areas find the pollution in the air there so bad, but they come to our country and they go, oh my God, your air is so fresh. And it really drew me to the air pollution in places like India. Not blaming India. If I have someone in India that is watching, you are part of this transition as well, because this has to be a global transition, and it is a global transition. Oh, okay, where are we going with this? Okay, so we have to make noise about foreign growth in this this pollution. So, okay, getting to these cards, it says dark energy. It doesn't necessarily mean dark energy. There's going to be a difficult message about air pollution overseas that needs to be reduced for the sake of health, and our leaders need to step forward in regards to this, the health of the planet. There is going to be a leadership come out that is going to acknowledge this. For the sake of the planet, the rule needs to busily transform. Thank you. And it is. But it starts off with us making noise and being the guiding light, being the mentor, being the example is what I'm hearing. Okay. Right. Lessening peace in the families. Let's see where this goes. Again, I'm confused about this minus card being here, because we have for Earth, we need to get busy with the rule for transforming, reducing families. Oh, thank you. Yeah, now I get it. Reducing population growth is what I'm getting. Reducing population growth is a key factor in all of this. Now, I know I started off with economic inequity, but it's all intertwined. It is about reducing population growth, accepting diversity, and illuminating diversity, coming together in the joy of diversity. Yes, every drop in the ocean counts. We all count. Now, Denise of Spiritual Growth Tarot had a meme on her community page that I caught a couple of days ago, and it was about the fact that you are not a drop in the ocean, you are the ocean in a drop. You have so much that you can give to this endeavour, that you are a drop in the ocean against this evil energy that is literally depleting through greed. But also this evil energy, drop by drop, they are depleting through greed. They are taking away through greed. And it needs to be stopped, brought to a stop. But yes, okay, what the boys are telling me is yes, every drop in the ocean counts. You are an ocean within a drop. As this evil energy of greed and stealing needs to be stopped. Magic happens when we take a leap of faith and end this cycle. We are at a moment. Thank you. They're telling me karma, destiny, fate. It is a moment where we are at closing doors and opening new ones. I know this isn't really answering the question, but we're getting a bit of a story here. So each country plus cowardness. Okay. Right. Okay, thank you. They're telling me this is actually agriculture today. Can mean a country, as in Australia, but they're telling me this is agriculture. Now, I do like my occasional meat. Quite happy to be a vegetarian as long as I'm allowed bacon, but I do source ethically produced bacon. But yeah, it is about agriculture. The cowardness in agriculture needs to be changed into a more positive system. I'm talking about sustainable farming. This is going to be massive. The shift in agriculture is going to be massive as it moves towards a more sustainable, positive method of farming. So that we are comfortable in the message that we bring forward. Interesting. Loyalty, go, celebrate and unlock. Okay. Exuberance. So bring forward exuberance in your social media, commenting, the messaging, the positive messaging, the go messaging that's getting out there. And celebrating the small is the key. It will take time. We have the feminine energy, the circles of sharing, overcoming the fear of the future. It is about getting the message out that's all that's ever going to come, this fear of the future and the fear of this emptiness, which is dividing the help. It is going to have a light bulb moment and joy, but it is the intertwining. The intertwining. And the next card is restricted. So it is this intertwining of, how do I put it? intertwining of this devil energy behind the scenes that is going to be restricted. It's going to take hard work. Yeah. Thank you. I'm actually getting a reducing, not infrastructure. What I'm picturing is, I have a lovely little modest house here, and everyone who comes into it says, my God, the energies are so good, but that's because we're in it. It's half the size of the place we had before. And what I'm really getting is it's about living within our means, not building monolithic 1,000 square metre homes for two people to live in. Not building massive cities. It's a move towards working from home. Yeah, okay, see where this goes. And it's going to take bravery when we're faced with the swamp, the crossroads of this swamp. Okay, on the base, the strength is going to be in the destruction of the convoluted, for the sake of the home's security, and the future is not yet written. Okay, that didn't really answer the question, because what the boys are telling me is that this is it's such a complex issue, but it does come down to making the noise, working behind the scenes, transformation to every drop in the ocean, transforming this devil energy, this stealing energy, this greed, as we move forward. Okay, if it brought up any questions, specific questions, that would be fantastic. Thank you for joining me. Catch you later. Bye-bye.